Before I start today's video, I'd just like to say thank you for all the support on my past videos. If you do enjoy this video, like and comment, and if you do enjoy this channel, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Thanks.
Tenet, Christopher Nolan's newest film, is perhaps his most controversial, albeit his most ambitious. Not only has it gained much criticism from fans, but to many it was a disappointment, which I can somewhat understand why. However, I really don't think it is. In fact, I think it's a masterpiece in storytelling. There are three main issues that I hear about Tenet. The first is the sound design, the second is the characters, and the third is the confusing nature of the film. The sound design, although granted makes the dialogue difficult to hear, is easily bypassed with subtitles. All the same, I think Nolan could have easily made it easier to hear, but chose not to. You see, one of the most difficult parts to hear, where Neil's discussing with the man in the airport about what happens with the paintings, etc. In the subtitles is said to be inaudible at a certain point. The music seems to get louder and louder to create immersion, getting harder and harder to hear what they're saying. In order to leave a level of intrigue and to immerse yourself with the characters, being in the situation they are in. They may not know what's being said, and the information, I'm pretty sure, is relayed anyway. Nolan's choice to make the dialogue inaudible only improves rewatchability, something that a lot of cinema has lost. The inaudible dialogue reflects the experience of the characters. If we find it hard to hear, whether it be due to the masks the characters are wearing, or the music, it's probably because the characters themselves, especially protagonists, are immersed in a world they are unfamiliar with, and not fully grasping everything themselves. The really important points of dialogue are able to be heard clearly enough. Nolan's obsession with time isn't emphasised in Tenet, mainly through the time-based concept, but also through the plot. Like in many of his other films, the characters are under great time pressure, and, in order to keep the fast pace and intense action at its peak, there is less time for exposition and character development. However, the lack of explanations create a rewatchable, as I said before, experience, allowing the viewer to watch again and again, picking up more and more things. The film is meant to be confusing, and the main protagonist doesn't fully understand what's going on for a lot of the film too. Although he does understand things at the end, the viewer likely does not. Although this may not work completely well, it does create, as I said before, a great deal of rewatchability that many Hollywood films don't have. The characters in Tenet are generally not too developed, as the growth of character slows the film. However, this lack of understanding of the character motivations and stuff isn't a full issue, as the protagonist, who we stick with for most of the film, doesn't know much at all about any of the characters, maybe apart from Kat, who is well developed for a side character, having clear motivation and development, trying to have the best to happen for her son. Neil is meant to be unknown and mysterious. In fact, having his development would, in my opinion, remove mystery and rewatchability. Ignorance is their ammunition. One of Tenet's main theories, that Kat's son is Neil, relies on a lack of information on him. It makes the information we find out about him at the end the more fulfilling. Following the theory, his motivations too make sense. He's trying to make sure he and his mum are safe, hence why he does not question a protagonist's decision to save Kat with the turnstile at the airport, but in fact goes along with it. The villain's motivation is fairly clear: a selfish man that will gain temporary wealth at the expense of everyone else. His decision to help the future reverses the entropy of the past was likely fueled by the money and help in his own plans and wishes. If he didn't help the future, he would not have been given the capabilities of knowing what to do next. His greed and want for power and money have made him a complete psychopath. His pride has made him become a dictator over his wife. Priya, the woman that the protagonist meets in Mumbai, is less mysterious because in a real-life situation in which you are in the shoes of a protagonist like him, who would likely know nothing of the personal lives of the people you are trying to get information from, especially if the entire mission is a mystery for much of the time anyway. The protagonist is not given a name. He's literally named the protagonist. This is because the viewer is meant perhaps to be the protagonist. I didn't come up with this theory. The original video where this comes from the channel Heavy Spoilers is in the description. However, I think they make a very good point. Following the protagonist a world he knows almost nothing about, you're experiencing everything as he is. Scenes of exposition on transport in various different places create a sense of being in the protagonist's shoes, trying to follow things along as he is. And when things are difficult to hear, it's perhaps indicating that he's not fully grasping everything either. One of Tenet's main themes is that you can't change the past. This theme works especially well, as this theme contradicts the villain's motivations. The future wants to change the past in order to survive after their oceans rose and their rivers ran dry. Sator is therefore helping them to do this, and throughout uses knowledge of the future to change the present, which in essence is changing the past. However, he fails. The protagonist asks if they can change things if they do it differently, when Neil reveals that he will go and die. Then Neil subsequently says, "What's happened, happened," which emphasises the theme that you can't change the past. The protagonists in Tenet are active protagonists, making decisions that move the story, not letting the story move them, which fits well with another of its themes. When Neil is going back to unlock the door, he tells the protagonist can't leave anything to chance. This perhaps is indicating that you can't leave everything in your life to be done for you. You have to keep going and be an active protagonist. Watching this video, if you did enjoy it, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more videos like this on films, and if you want to see another video on Tenet, I might do that. Not straight away, but maybe in a month or so, I don't know. And if you do want to see that though, don't forget to click on the like button and to show me that you want to see that sort of content, and comment down below. And if you do really enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to get notified every time my videos go live. And as I said before, if this does really well, I might get sponsored by the subscribe button next time.